Hey everyone, Sozo here. In today's video, I'll be demonstrating some of my custom brushes in Clip Studio Paint. Some of you guys requested me to demonstrate how they work in a video, so here we are. I'm gonna start off drawing a base character before I show the hair, so if you guys want to get right into the brushes, then feel free to skip forward to around the 1.5 minute mark. So, the reason I made these brushes is because I'd like to start working on my own comics, but I know that I'm gonna want to have a lot of detail in certain aspects like hair. But to get that level of detail, I'd probably have to sacrifice time, which isn't really so great if I'm on a deadline. In this pack, I've included about 6 different brushes to start with. 3 black-haired brushes and 3 blonde ones. You can mix them to get varied results. So first things first, I'm just going to lay down some lines so I have a rough idea of the direction I want to put my strands and hairs and all that. You don't really have to do it, but I prefer to. It just helps keep me on track, especially when I'm doing more curly hairstyles. It just gives me a better idea of what direction I'm going with the hair and all that, so I have a rough guideline for where I want things to go. Then, as you can see here by the arrow annotation, you're going to need to fill in areas that don't require detail. It's not really necessary to have fancy strokes in areas where there's like shadow. There'd be harsh shadow there where her neck is. So I just filled it in black. And then I take out the hairbrush. I'm using my shiny black one, which is probably my favorite out of the entire collection. And I'm just plotting down the hairs. The hairs are all opaque, so you can just stack them on top of each other and it just keeps building the style. So you don't have to worry about any kind of issues with opacity or anything like that. So I'm just kind of like getting the overall shape of the hair, and then I'll probably go in again and put some strokes over top to make the highlights in the hair more uniform. After that, I just proceed to fill in the other side of the hair and block out the rest of the overall silhouette of the hair, because that's the part we're getting in there. Then any parts that go over her face or around and clip into it can just be erased after everything's been shaped out. At this point, I start to experiment with another one of my brushes. I made 3 different types of black brushes to be used, as well as 3 different blonde ones, as I mentioned earlier, and they can all be used with one another to kind of give the hair a little bit more of an organic feeling, so that it's not as like, oh, this is a stroke looking, you know. There's going to be more loose hairs and individualistic hairs to kind of make the hair look a little bit more like hand-drawn, I guess. Not sure if that's the right expression, but yeah, it definitely helps break up the monotony in the strokes. At this point of the hair process, I'm just drawing in individualistic hairs to also break up some more of the monotony and just give it a more personal touch, drawing in highlights in areas that maybe the brush didn't get perfect and cleaning up areas where I feel like maybe highlight wasn't necessary, which is far less effort than having done it the other way around. And then, as you can see, I can just fill in and clean up the overall drawing and warp the hair after, and anything like that I might not have been happy with initially. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this brush. It saved me a crap ton of time that I would have spent drawing all those little strands and stuff. But it looks pretty decent to me. I mean, I probably could take this even further if I wanted to, and you definitely can if you utilize the vector tools inside of Clip Studio Paint. I did a test with it previously, and I was able to make some really cool curly hair. So I'm pretty happy with this brush. The next two clips, I'm just going to show basically the other potential of the brush. Here's the blonde hair brush. I was told that my approach towards blonde hair is more of a shoujo manga taste, I guess, with the streaks in the strokes of hair, I guess. I think that they look shinier that way, but you know, apparently that's not a thing in shonen manga, I was told. But here we are. We have this brush, and it's for the blondes out there, or any other light haired color you might like put on your characters. It won't matter because manga is usually black and white anyway. And you can layer these different brushes if you want to have a more more depth in the hair. So you don't have to just use this one. This one can go under the other two brushes that I made for blonde hair. Here you can see me filling in the bangs and stuff, because sometimes less is more. So I did make the brushes like break down into simpler shapes for people who don't want to have all those lines in the hair. And then the third blonde brush is even more simple than those, which you can see me using here. This last clip I just included just to show one more thing you could potentially do with the brushes. You can also do straight and blunt haircuts. I mean, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is the same thing I showed in the first steps, but erase the edges of the hair. So it's pretty I'd say it's got some versatility, which I appreciate. And yeah, I think that concludes just about anything else I have to say about these brushes. I really hope you guys out there who decide to use them find them helpful and efficient for you. If anyone uses these brushes for their project or just even a drawing or something, I would love to see what you guys come up with. Just like tag me and stuff at Sozo Maika, anywhere. I really want to see what you guys come up with and how you guys use them. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.